A storm of historic proportions turned the streets of New York into rivers, flooded buses, and brought the subway to a complete standstill. A record was measured as Central Park. The end of the Hurricane Ida brought the metropolis of New York the heaviest rain in history and caused severe flooding. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio declared a state of emergency. Streets and apartments were partially about 3 feet underwater late on Wednesday evening, and subway traffic, as I said, came to a complete standstill. At first, it was unclear whether there were injuries or fatalities. Tonight, we are experiencing a historic weather event with record rains across the city, brutal floods and dangerous conditions on our streets, wrote de Blasio on Thursday night on Twitter. People should seek shelter in houses and not go out into the streets to enable rescue workers to do their work. Within just an hour, around 80 millimeters of rain fell in Central Park and Manhattan, according to the National Weather Service. The storm pulverized the previous record that Tropical Storm Henry has set just over a week ago with 49 millimeters for 60 minutes. Overall, the summer of 2021 in New York is not only very hot and sunny, but also the rainiest in New York history. Stay away from the subway, stay away from the streets. Do not go into these severe floods, continued de Blasio. Around 5,300 households are without electricity. On Wednesday evening, the authorities in New York and the surrounding area had warned of severe storms, life-threatening floods, and even tornadoes. A short time later, so much rain fell over the city that streets turned into rivers. Some videos circulating on the internet showed cars drifting in the water. Passengers were stuck in paralyzed subway trains. In a subway station, water penetrated with the force of a spring tide, as pictures showed. The authenticity of a video of a man floating on the water on an air mattress could not initially be confirmed, but we have seen the same picture in my hometown. I'll tell you something about that later. Newark Airport temporarily stopped its air traffic, and John F. Kennedy Airport reported delays. A video by UNICEF spokesman Joe English showed Queens Boulevard in the district of the same name, which was so flooded that passengers had to get on the seats in the public bus. Queens Boulevard in Maspeth, Corona is literally a river at the moment. Bus flooded with water, several cars got stuck in the water. Absolutely crazy, wrote English on Twitter. The extreme weather also hit the US Open, which is currently taking place, and the German tennis player Angelique Kerber, whose game has been postponed. In the Louis Armstrong Stadium, in which Kerber was to play her second round match against Anelina Kalinina from Ukraine on Wednesday evening, it rained so heavily from the side, despite the roof, that the game had to be suspended indefinitely. The area in Flushing Meadows was also partially flooded, so that thousands of visitors either had to seek shelter or wade through the water. At least one person was killed in the severe thunderstorms in the wake of Hurricane Ida. In the city of Passaic in the state of New Jersey, an elderly man was surprised in his car by the masses of water and drowned, said Mayor Hector Lora on Thursday night on CNN. The fire brigade was able to save 2 other occupants from the car. Like the neighboring state of New York, New Jersey was hit by severe flooding after the storms as a result of Ida had reached the region. A state of emergency has been declared in both states. Passaic is only about 20 kilometers from the metropolis of New York City, which experienced the heaviest rains in its history, as I said in the start of the video. In the borough of Queens, a person died after the partial collapse of a building, as CNN reported, citing the fire department. It was not initially clear whether this death was directly related to the storm. Ida hit the coast of the southern state of Louisiana on Sunday as a dangerous 4 or 5 magnitude hurricane southwest of New Orleans. Then it weakened and moved further northeast as a tropical low. And we experienced some things like this here as well in the region in my home state, in the western part of my home state. You might have heard about this. We recently had very severe floods there where people in masses lost their homes. A lot of people were killed. And in my hometown in 2014, we had severe flooding as well. And that's why I said with the air mattress, we had pictures here, although it was a catastrophe. In the beginning, people thought it's a bit more rain than usual. Let's have fun, and we had those pictures here as well. So I can imagine that this was a legit picture in New York, because we saw this here before the people realized how dangerous the whole thing is. I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.